Most men get this wrong. They think power is about being loud, showing off, flashing the fast car, the watch, the women, screaming from the fucking rooftops. But the truth is, that's just weakness dressed up as strength. The man who brags non-stop isn't powerful, he's just insecure. He's trying to convince you, but more importantly, he's trying to convince himself. See, it's fake and it's fragile, and you can smell it a mile away. But real power doesn't need to announce itself. It doesn't need a spotlight. It's quiet, it's calm and steady. You felt it before, right? Standing next to a man who doesn't say too much, but his presence just fills the room. You respect him, and not because he demanded it, but because he embodied it. And that's power. That's the kind of strength men should be chasing, not the noise, not the flex, but the kind of presence where everyone knows without even saying a word. If this is already hitting you, if you know that you've been chasing noise instead of building real strength, that's exactly why I built my community on school. It's a space for the men that are doing the work together. No bullshit, just men sharpening each other, breaking the patterns that are holding them back and stepping into that quiet, unshakable power. So the link's below if you want it, but don't even bother if you're not even serious about leveling up. Now here's the actual problem. Most men don't even know what real strength even looks like anymore, because the world is tearing down traditional masculinity. Everywhere you turn, you're told that being a man is toxic and dangerous and outdated, so men are just left confused and lost. And when you don't have a standard or a vision to aim at, you just drift. You chase the bullshit, the quick money, the fake bravado, the shallow validation, because you don't know what else to aim for. But what you need is a compass, an ideal. Something that cuts through the noise and tells you this is what it means to be a man. Because without that, you're just a ship out at sea with no direction, and you will spend years chasing things that just don't fucking matter. So what does that actually look like, right? What does that model actually look like? Because it's not the loud guy in the room. It's not the bragger. It's not the dude flexing his bank account or his body count, right? It's the man who doesn't need to prove a damn thing. He's calm, he's grounded, he knows who he is. He doesn't go looking for fights, but when he's pressed, he doesn't fold. He stands his ground without needing to raise his voice, and that is real power. Think about it, right? Anyone can bark, anyone can throw a tantrum, but that's not strength, that's just insecurity spilling out sideways. But the man who stays calm under pressure, who can look you dead in the eye without flinching, that's the man that people trust and respect and follow. And this is where most men get it wrong. They think aggression is strength. They think dominance is power. But lashing out, needing to control, pushing people around, that's, again, just weakness, pretending it's strong. True masculinity is balance. It's knowing when to hold back and knowing when to step in. And when you step in, no one doubts that you mean it. That's the model of strength. Not performance, not bravado, but a presence that can't be shaken. And here's the thing about weakness. It always exposes itself. You don't have to go digging. Just watch how a man reacts under pressure. Watch how he responds to criticism. Weak men can't handle it. Say something they don't like and they'll just blow up. They'll rage. They'll lash out online, right? You've seen it before. The trolls who collapse the second they're challenged. And that's not strength. That's just fragility. And bragging does the same thing. The guy who won't shut up about how much money he makes, how many women he's had, how tough he is. He's not strong. He's just covering up weakness. All that noise, that's just a mask. The louder the bragging, the smaller the man behind it. Strong men don't need that. They don't need to scream, respect me. They don't need to parade their achievements or shove their success in your face. Because here's the truth. When you're strong inside, your actions do the talking. Your work speaks louder than you ever could. The way you carry yourself says more than any brag ever will. And that's the difference. Weakness hides behind bravado, and strength, it doesn't need a disguise. A real man doesn't need to tear women down. He doesn't need to dominate or control or disrespect them to feel strong. That's boy energy. That's insecurity. Weak men try to prove their power by making others smaller, but women see through that instantly. They can smell insecurity the same way a wolf smells fear. It's obvious and it's fucking repulsive. What they're drawn to is something else entirely. They're drawn to the man who doesn't need to prove himself, the man who carries respect for himself and her, not out of weakness, not out of simping, but out of strength. And respect is power. Chivalry, honor, protection, these aren't outdated ideas. They've lasted for centuries because they work, because they speak into something deep in our culture, deep in our biology, deep in what it means to be a man. A woman doesn't feel safe with a man who's insecure, but she feels deeply safe, deeply drawn to the man who's steady, respectful, and grounded. That's the man she trusts. That's the man that she follows. You don't get there by pretending, you get there by building real confidence, the kind you can't fake, the kind that comes from the inside. But most men waste their energy chasing quick wins. They want to get rich fast, look successful, show everyone how they've made it by 25. But let me be blunt, that's not fucking power. That's desperation. That's trying to rush a legacy that you haven't earned yet. Like, look at the greats. Muhammad Ali, John Jones, Floyd Mayweather. These men didn't just dominate for a year and disappear. They mastered their craft so completely that they stayed on top forever. Ali fought battles inside and outside the ring. Mayweather went undefeated because his discipline never slipped. And John Jones, well, whether you love him or hate him, proved what it means to evolve and dominate year after year. That's what real success looks like. Longevity. Not the quick win, but the long war. Any man can get lucky once, but the man who can stay sharp, stay disciplined, and keep winning year after year, that's the man who earns respect. That's the man who becomes untouchable. So stop chasing fast validation. Stop trying to look rich or impressive before you've even built anything real. Play the long game. Build mastery. Because the man who lasts, the man who endures, he's the one who wins in the end. And here's the thing that most men will never even figure out. When you're solid inside, everything else comes to you. You don't have to chase women. You don't have to beg for opportunities. You don't have to scream for respect. When you're grounded, disciplined, and unshakable, people feel it. Women are drawn to it. People want to invest in it. Opportunities line up for it. Because real masculinity isn't about aggression or control. It's not about how much money you can flash or how tough you can act. That's surface level. That's just noise. Real masculinity is calm. It's confident. It's kind of presence that can't be rattled, can't be bought, can't be faked. And when you embody that, life bends towards you. You become the man that people want to follow, the man women want to trust, the man who doesn't need to prove anything because it's already written all over you. That's the goal. Not noise, not bravado, not quick wins, but inner strength. That's the standard for men who refuse to be average. See you tomorrow.